Another year has been put to rest, Brother Chan. Old, stale, getting a little drippy on the sides, but at the same time a brand new year has emerged from the packing peanuts, shiny, smelling of freshly molded plastic and rife with static cling.
Have you made any resolutions?
Why, just to have another lousy year smack them out of my hands and give me a wedgie? I have no intention of giving them the satisfaction 3 years in a row, Chan. No, this year I resolve nothing. I shall make no plans, plot no self-improvement. If at any point in 2022 I accomplish anything or become a better person in any way, it shall be without my active participation. Go on, universe, improve me, I dare you.
So basically, your 2022 resolution is to eat and sleep.
I'd say yes, brother, but I don't want to jinx it. In any case, 2022 should have plenty to keep itself busy without having to get me involved. Just look at the games coming out: Dying Light 2, Horizon Forbidden West, Elden Ring, Stalker 2, Saints Row, Starfield, maybe even a version of Cyberpunk that lets you sit down at will. The sky's the limit, and that doesn't even begin to touch on the big secret E3 reveals.
So you believe there will be some, then?
I mean, look. Nobody knows what horrors the future may be putting together in this creepy, damp basement right now, but we can still at least strive for a certain level of normalcy. While I certainly maintain that it's safer to hedge one's bets, the world has plenty enough pessimism at the moment. I say let us greet the new year with cautious optimism.
And open arms?
I mean, for all it knows, sure. It's not like I'm stepping outside for any of this. I'm not crazy.
Speaking of 2022 surprise announcements, what do you think the chances are of catching a glimpse of something along the lines of Grand Theft Auto 6 or Half-Life 3?
Ah, the very Sasquatches of the video gaming industry, Chan, a good question. With GTA 6, at least, we know that it's in active production, whatever that means for a company still outpacing the entire GDP of Brazil with the online half of a 9-year-old Xbox 360 game. With Half-Life, on the other hand, well, the fact that Half-Life Alyx exists is proof positive that the franchise is still drawing breath, and the fact that it was VR only is evidence that Valve doesn't care if mainstream audiences ever actually play it. I give both titles about 1 in 4 odds.
Speaking of virtual reality, the company formerly known as Facebook revealed that it has shipped over 10 million Quest 2 VR headsets, and with Sony's new-gen PlayStation VR 2 hardware set to debut this year, could 2022 be the year that virtual reality finally does become mainstream?
Well, again, brother, I don't want to commit to any projections this high up on the calendar, but I will say that if the past 2 years have taught us nothing else, it's that there's a bright and burgeoning market for hiding from actual reality. Good odds on this one.
And finally, brother, what new trends or surprise innovations do you expect to see adopted in the industry this year?
Surprise innovations? There are no surprises, Chan. Let's be honest, the new year is really just the old year wearing a different hat, and we're the ones who put the hat on it. Nothing has fundamentally changed between now and last week. No cosmic shrink wrap removed or celestial Febreze spritzed around to freshen things up. Humanity embraces the concept of years as separate and individual chunks of time so fervently because doing so allows us to place an artificial barrier between ourselves and all the dumb stuff we did in the past, rather than have to take ownership of our missteps and put in the effort to correct them.
That is how society collectively disavowed Nickelback.
2022 will bring changes to the video gaming industry, Chan, of course it will, but what we need to accept is that these changes won't be some radical departure from the curve. Rather, they are the curve, the same long path that video games have been treading for decades, shaped by the influences of a timeline that doesn't section off neatly into 365-day chunks, no matter how much we soak the ends with champagne and firecrackers. You ask what new things the 2022 video gaming industry will produce, Chan, and I reply with this: there are no new things. But given the state of the world, it'll probably be a bunch of NFTs. Like the video gamers? We have more such wonders to show you, and all you have to do is subscribe and hit the notifications button.
I mean, you don't have to.
Also consider becoming a patron by following the link to our Patreon page, where we turn your cash into videos, comics, and games using the darkest of dark magics.
But mostly just cash.